Shema Israel, Yahuwah Eloheinu, Yahuwah Eloheinu, Achad, Yahuwah Eloheinu, Yahuwah Eloheinu Achad. Shema Israel, Shema Israel, Yahuwah Eloheinu, Yahuwah Eloheinu, Achad, Yahuwah Eloheinu, Yahuwah Eloheinu.
All right, shalom, shalom. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I see you there in the chat there, Simon. It's good to see you, Bubba. Glad you were able to join me last Friday. Thank you for everybody that comes and join me. I want to say thank you to all the new subscribers that have been coming on and being a part of the channel. For your comments and for the new people that came on last Friday. I thought that was really interesting. That's what I'm trying to do, get Natsarim to come on, give their testimony, talk, stuff like that. So every Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I go live and do a live chat with everybody. I have Google Hangouts set up to where you can come on and chat with me about things from the scriptures, things of that nature, things that I talk about on my channel. Feel free to talk to me about. Or put it in the comments. So, I know the world's a vexing place. We do the best that we can, so we're here, right? And today we're going to be talking about Valentine's Day because that's coming up, approaching, I think, next week or the week after that. I'm not really sure. I don't celebrate it, so I don't really know the exact. I think it's the 14th or 15th or something like that. But today we'll be talking about Valentine's Day and the pagan origins of Valentine's Day, the stuff that they have not told you guys. And we're going to get enlightened on a lot of different things because there's some stuff that I learned too today that was pretty interesting. So I just want to show you guys the next few lessons that I have coming up. I grabbed some more out of the book that I have here. And yeah, I'm just going to go through them and show you guys what I got coming up here. So I'll just hold them like this. The first one is going to be, and I don't know if I'm going to be doing these in order as I show them, but Is Yahusha's yoke our armor of light? We are the Nazarene. Yeah. This one's going to be really good. Hebrew idioms. Unlocking their meaning. Because this is where a lot of people have problems when they're reading the scriptures. And then, of course, I've showed you guys these two before, which I'm going to get into. Restoration. The message of the Nazarene is a warning. And then the sighted moon origins. Okay, there we go. I try to have these in some kind of order. So anyways, we're going to be talking about Valentine's Day. A Roman orgastic fertility festival under a new name. And this is who the deity for this one is. Dionysus or Bacchus. And let me show you one more picture here. There's another picture. And you see on this one he has the crosses around his head, Bacchus. So I'm going to be showing you guys, I'll show you guys these pictures again but I want you guys to get familiar. So I'm going to be reading also from the two Babylons today, Alexander Hislop. So that'll be kind of fun because I rarely go into this nowadays, but I wanted to jump into it because it has an interesting topic that I want to talk about that has to do with Valentine's Day. So, Valentine's Day, true origins. Let's get right into it. Rome's fertility festival celebrating Romulus and Remus. Valentine's Day origins. Let me see where I want to start. Yeah, okay. Nimrod's scheme of astrology set up all the rebellious annual festivals we see everyone captivated by. The patterns of serving the host of heaven became all the Christian holy days. Changing the names of them doesn't cover up their stench. The perspective, that would be the mind or the viewpoint, of the flesh blocks us, the perspective of the flesh blocks us from seeing things as Yahuwah sees them. If we abide in His word, we are truly His pupils, and we will know the truth, and the truth will set us free. So, Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day is the occult, which would mean hidden, fertility festival of Dionysus, the deity of orgies and wine. That would be Dionysus right there. Rome called it Lupercalia, Wolf Festival. Lupercalia. They have spun new reasons for observing this fertility festival and names they call it. They shifted it from February 15th to February 14th. The hearts, arrows, and Cupid idol are being programmed into children in most schools, so they will never grow up to teach this behavior, so they will grow up to teach this behavior to their children. These traditions handed down to us are the curses we inherited from our fathers who refused to obey Yahuwah's commandments, and the children's teeth are set on edge. Now this proverb refers to a famine of Yahuwah's word. The children's teeth are set on edge. Those who hate Yahuwah are those who do not obey His commandments, but turn aside, as dogs do, to the idols of the nations by their behavior. The second commandment shows this. And it says, "For I, Yahuwah, your Elohim, am a jealous El, visiting the crookedness of the fathers on the children of the children to the third and the fourth generations of those who hate me, but showing kindness to thousands, to those who love me and guard my commands." That's Exodus 20. So once again, I want to just reiterate this. We see those who hate Yahuwah are those who do not obey his commandments. Right? Remember, he is a jealous a jealous Elohim, a jealous God. That's what he is. And we need to be following his commandments, being obedient to him. All right? That's how we show our love to him. So, the things the world loves are oftentimes things Yahuwah despises because he knows the true origin of them. The popular custom of Groundhog's Day, divination by means of observing the emergence of hibernating animals to prognosticate the arrival of spring, is nothing we should be doing. Yet people seem to pay attention in blissful ignorance to every pagan thing. Inauguration Day, from the custom of augury, divination using portents based on the flight patterns of birds or aves, A-V-E-S, is a vestige, the inauguration, is a vestige of ancient Greece and Rome. Augurs were the only ones allowed to foretell future events, to guide the rulers and military commanders to make their decisions. The first king of Israel consulted a whisperer, the witch of Endor, remember Saul, to predict the outcome of a future battle. He turned away from Yahuwah and went the way of Nimrod. Remember, rebellion is as witchcraft. The old adage states, it doesn't mean that to me. That's what people are saying. Especially with the Valentine's Day coming up. A lot of the stuff I'm going to say, they say, well, that's not how we do it, how we celebrate. It's not what it means to me. That's not what I do. It's all excuses, okay? Now, so the old adage, it doesn't mean that to me, won't fly when the reapers come to burn all things offensive. Yahuwah makes the omens of the diviners into foolishness. Give me 1 sec, guys. Alrighty. Remember, Yahuwah makes the omens of the diviners into foolishness. As we are being refined, we purge the dross out of our lives. I remember when I had to eliminate all icons such as crosses from my life and began a journey out of men's traditions by obeying the things I saw written in Yahuwah's word. The truth is like a bright light and exposes the darkness. But the Gentiles find the darkness very pleasing until someone shines the truth on what things mean. Now, we inherited only lies. Yirmiyahu 16, verse 19. Our fathers have inherited only falsehood, futility, and there is no value in them. Proverbs 14, 18. The simple shall inherit folly, but the clever are crowned with knowledge. Now, this is why we don't see things, right? It's really syncretism is the reason why. It's making stuff mean other stuff, so we've been bamboozled and tricked over the years, okay? But this is why we don't see things. The occulted or hidden meanings behind all symbols of witchcraft are on two levels. The first is the esoteric. The true meaning is revealed to those initiated into the upper levels. And then there's the exoteric. the surface meaning shown to the masses. This is why you didn't know. You were given the exoteric meaning of a lot of the traditions that of men that we talk about on this program. Christmas, Valentine's Day, Easter, Halloween, it doesn't matter. Your birthday. Now, the symbols they cherish don't mean anything sinister to them because the meaning is occulted. Just like I said, it's been hidden. So since it's been hidden, they've been given the exoteric meaning to what the cross is. But the people who are on the up and up, the upper levels, if you will, they know what that cross is. The pagans and Satanists know exactly what the cross is. We, as Nazarene, we know what the cross is now. But you out there who are in this Christian world, in the faith community, especially on YouTube, you're not understanding what this stuff is because you've been blinded by exoteric, occult, or occulted teachings. And you're saying this stuff in your videos, which is even worse. That's the shame. That you go on your videos and you say these things, knowing the truth, and you still continue to walk in futility. Ridiculous. Oh man, your souls, I feel bad for them. I wish you wouldn't treat Yahuwah in that manner. Now, people perceive the exoteric, right? That's the surface meaning shown to the masses. People perceive the exoteric meaning. When we show the esoteric, that's the secrets insider meaning, they react with comments like, it doesn't mean that to me. Or, he knows my heart. Or things of that nature. Now, the Catholic circus adopted every vestige of paganism and Christianity too, and revised the meaning to apply to some aspect of the new faith. This is called syncretism, and is exactly what Yahuwah told us to not ever do. The Christmas trees, wreaths, maypoles, rabbits, eggs, and so on don't appear to be connected with fertility at all to people. The heart shape is repulsive to Yahuwah, not because it's the shape of an ivy leaf, but it's in association with a fertility practice. Think about what it looks like and you'll see what he sees. What has been hidden is being revealed and shouted from the rooftops. Now, maypoles are witchcraft closely related to all other fertility customs. And this would be the maypole right here. Hopefully I can get a good picture. There we go. The maypole with the wreath at the top, and it's a pole that comes down, and there's all these ribbons that these young girls hold on to, and they dance around the pole. You might have seen this in the new movie Midsommar that came out. That's the paganistic movie Midsommar. They actually bring that up in that movie. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. Now, yeah, what has been hidden is being revealed. Maypoles are witchcraft, okay? Closely related to all the other fertility customs. Now, the famous author Arthur Conan Doyle, a promoter of Spiritism, said in one of his books, and I'm going to quote, "You see, but you do not observe. You see, but you do not observe." Syncretism merges opposing ideas and beliefs together, confusing the good seeds, that's the good teachings that the Nazarene that we're trying to give to you guys. They try to sow that and confuse it with corrupt seeds. Okay? Give me 1 second, guys. I'm going to go hush my dog up here. Sorry about that, guys. I have a dog. I gotta let him in and out. Sorry. So, alright, anyways. You see, but you do not observe. Arthur Conan Doyle. You see, but you do not observe. Now, syncretism, and I did a whole video about this. Check it out, my video called Syncretism. Check that out. Syncretism merges opposing ideas and beliefs together, confusing the good seeds, that's the good teachings, like I said, that we're trying to bring out, the Natsarim, and they mix it with corrupt seeds. That's what we see happening in Christianity. That's what we see happening in the faith movement, period. Whether it's in a church or it's on here on YouTube, and on YouTube it's becoming vastly popular. Anybody decides, well, I believe, I'm a believer, so I'm going to make a video. And they just butcher the word. And they are incredibly ignorant and do not know what they're talking about. You are all not teachers. You're not all called to be apostles like you think you are. I don't know what Yahuwah is telling you, but he is not walking around telling everybody, go out and I want all of you to be teachers. Everybody is not a teacher, but that's what you see on YouTube. Everybody wants to put their 2 cents in and think that they know better than the word, better than the scripture. If they knew better, why aren't they pointing the things out that us Natsarim are pointing out, especially in these last days? Those are the questions you need to be asking yourself. Now, GMO zombie seeds corrupt the whole food supply and produces death through its cancerous side effects. Practicing evil traditions produces spiritual darkness and opens a person to demonic activity. People strive to find truth, but they cling to the traditions instead. This is the leaven referred to at Matthew 16, or Matityahu, or Matityahu 16. Ignorantly, you've been involved in the occult. We all were. Get out. It says, come out of her, my people. Come out of her. Run, you guys, as fast as you can to Yahusha and get away from this madness. Now, the next thing I'm going to get into, and I want to just delve real quick into The Two Babylons by Alexander Hislop. Let me get that in the picture. Alexander Hislop, The Two Babylons. And this is the 4th edition. If you're interested, the 7th edition is out as well. So, but I want to talk about what is the heart symbol. And before I get into more of this article, I want to go into this, just a part of Alexander Hislop's book where he talks about the worship of the Sacred Heart. Be kind of hard to see, but there's the Cupid figure. And you see how it's holding a heart-shaped fruit? And then the bows and the arrows. Let me get more. I'm sorry. Let me get closer here. All right. So, okay. In the Church of Rome, a new kind of devotion has of late been largely introduced, in which the beads play an important part, and which shows what new and additional strides in the direction of the old Babylonian paganism the papacy every day is steadily making. I refer to the Rosary of the Sacred Heart. It is not very long since the worship of the Sacred Heart was first introduced, and now everywhere it is the favorite worship. It was so in ancient Babylon, as is evident from the Babylonian system as it appeared in Egypt. There also a Sacred Heart was venerated. The heart was one of the sacred symbols of Osiris when he was born again, and appeared as Harpocrates, or the infant divinity. Born in the arms of his mother Isis. Therefore, the fruit of the Egyptian Persia was particularly sacred to him, from its resemblance to the human heart. And Plutarch wrote about that. Now, hence this infant divinity was frequently represented with a heart, or the harp-shaped fruit of the Persea, in one of his hands. As you can see, like I said in this figure here, you can see him holding the heart-shaped, he's holding the heart-shaped fruit. And then obviously he has the bows and the arrows. So, okay. Now, the accompanying woodcut is from Pompeii, but the following extract from John Bell's criticism on the antiques in the picture gallery of Florence will show that the boyish divinity had been represented elsewhere also in ancient times in the same manner. Speaking of a statue of Cupid, he says it is a fair, full, fleshly, round boy in fine and sportive action, tossing back a heart. Thus, the boy God came to be regarded as the God of the heart. In other words, as Cupid, or the God of love. To identify this infant divinity with his father, the mighty hunter, which would be Nimrod, he was equipped with bow and arrows. That is why Cupid has the bow and arrows. He's a mighty hunter, trying to get people to follow Satanism, paganism, witchcraft, so on and so forth. And in the hands of the poets, for the amusement of the profane vulgar, this sportive boy God was celebrated as taking aim with his gold-tipped shafts at the hearts of mankind. His real character, however, as the above statement shows, and as we have seen reason already to conclude, was far higher and of a very different kind. He was the woman's seed, Venus, and her son, Cupid, then, were none other than the Madonna and the child. Okay? So, what is the heart symbol? As we're reading about, it is the symbol of debauchery, derived from the name of the Roman deity Bacchus. His symbol is now promoted in association with Valentine's Day. It was the same symbol of the Greek deity of wine and debauchery, Dionysus. And once again, Dionysus. This is what the Valentine's Day is about. Ain't about your sweetheart. Alright? But definitely about the heart, as we just reading. Now, we derive our word debauchery from the Roman form of the deity's name. The heart is the image of an ivy leaf, worn as a wreath by Dionysus during his feasting and orgies. Dionysus was honored for the grape harvest, winemaking, fertility, theater, orgies, and drunkenness. His symbol for orgy is now utilized by the ivy leaf, often shown with an arrow piercing it. Bacchus corresponds to Nimrod the archer, Sagittarius, or Cupid. Another name for him is Orion the hunter. Remember, all these names are that I say, when I say Cupid, Orion, Sagittarius, Nimrod, they all have these bows and arrows and they're all firing them. They're all mighty hunters. All these names are just made up names by different cultures for the name of Hasatan, because Hasatan has been hidden. He's exoteric or esoteric. He's only been shown to the upper levels, but the masses don't know of him. They worship him through Christmas, Easter, Valentine's Day, birthdays. That's how Hasatan is worshipped, through these deities. Now, the arrow penetrating the heart symbol is coatl. Bacchus is seen in art wearing a wreath of ivy leaves on his head during orgastic rituals. That's the ivy leaf. Obviously looks like the heart symbol on his head, and he wears it during the orgies, during the festivals. Remember, Bacchus is seen in art wearing a wreath of ivy leaves on his head during orgastic rituals. I told you, everything revolves around sex, guys. It's all fertility. It's all to corrupt. All to corrupt. Cupid's arrows, and we were just speaking about that, Cupid's arrows. Another Roman deity based on a Greek one is Cupid, which means desire, and his golden arrows. The mythological child of Mercury and Venus, Cupid inflamed erotic desire in all who would offer to him. Cupid and hearts are thought to be good, yet are far from it. Woe to those who call good evil and evil good. Yashayahu, or Isaiah 5, verse 20 through 25. People program their children with fertility. Orgastic love is represented by the arrow penetrating the heart shape. This would be the occult imagery of the male and female genitalia interpreted as other objects. So you have the male and female genitalia. You have the arrow penetrating the heart. The arrow representing the male phallic symbol, the heart, the female genitalia. The word is XXX rated. When you see a heart shape with an arrow through it, you are really seeing the symbol for orgies. Orgies. To Yahuwah, it is debauchery from Bacchus and Dionysus, and the highest level of fornication. People simply don't realize what they are training their children to perform. There's great ignorance in them, in people. This is from Ephesians 4, verse 17 through 19 from the BYNV. So this I say, and witness in the Master, that you should no longer walk as the Gentiles walk, in the futility of their mind, having been darkened in their understanding, having been estranged from the life of Elohim because of the ignorance that is in them, because of the hardness of their heart, who, having been callous, have given themselves up to indecency, to work all uncleanness with greediness. Now the dragon wages war against the bride and marriage covenant of Mashiach. The dragon also controls all the kingdoms of this world through 3 different estates, or orders, if you will. That would be the clergy, the nobility, and the commoners, or the laity. This authoritarian order is called a beast, and Rome is its final form. I also believe America and Israel also. It is a military authority posing as a religious institution, or a teaching authority, just like the Didascalia. And we've talked about this before, guys, about the magisterium and all that, the early church fathers, guys. Now here's the Roman backstory. The Roman backstory. Pagans worshipped the sun and used fire, the hearth, wreaths, circles, pillars, bells, and many other items seen today as relics of their rituals. Some of the early Roman beliefs came from the Etruscans, Greeks, Egyptians, Persians, and Babel. The central foundation of Roman nationalism began at Roma, the original name of the city and language of the Proto-Empire. The Roman mythology began with two orphan children, Romulus and Remus, who were nurtured by a she-wolf. This is the lore of Rome, anyways. They were honored by a national day of purification involving a wolf, that's the Latin is lupus, that preserved their lives. Now, each year on February 15th, this purification festival was known as Lupercalia, or the Wolf Festival. Two male youths representing Romulus and Remus ran around the city in the nude, laughing and whipping strips of wolf skins dipped in blood. Unmarried girls exposed their posteriors to be lashed with these bloody wolf hides, believing they would be imbued with fertility. As part of the ritual, every eligible girl's name was collected and placed in a large vat or jar, and all the young men would draw a name from it. This gives us the phrase, luck of the draw. Whatever name a young man would draw out, that girl would be his consort in the festival. This was a solemn religious process. Lupercalia was renamed Valentine's Day and moved to the 14th after being Christianized. They should have shunned the idolatry, but instead, adapted it to the new universal religion, Catholic, Christian. All the behavior and symbols remain intact, but the reasons and the names were changed to hide the origins from the innocent victims. We cannot change people by pointing out their faults. We must sow the seeds of the rain and show them the way. The name and the word are the highest of all knowledge, not Nimrod's world order. The name, Yahuwah, Yahusha, and the word, his scriptures. The word. Deuteronomy 18:9. When you came into the land which Yahuwah, or when you come into the land which Yahuwah your Elohim has given you, do not learn to do according to the abominations of those Gentiles. Once again, we read from Hosea 4:6, or Hosea chapter 4 verse 6. My people are destroyed from a lack of what? Love? No, it's not a lack of love. Lack of persistence? Not lack of persistence. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Knowledge. Now, what has been concealed will be revealed. Matthew 10:26. Pagan shrines are only about one thing, that's sexual fertility. If you're wondering what I mean about pagan shrines, here's a quick little picture for you guys. And I did a video about this called the steeple people, pillars, obelisks. These are all fertility symbols. They represent the man's phallic symbol. And then these domes, these Shiva domes, the woman's. Open your eyes, guys. As it says at the top here, open your eyes, guys. All our buildings look the same. Taj Mahal, the Basilica in Rome, Shiva shrines, the U.S. Capitol, the Russian Orthodox buildings, the mosques, Shiva temples, Shiva inside the yoni. All right? That's all sexual fertility, guys. We have to steer clear away from this stuff. All right. Now, on the first Sunday of April in Kawasaki, Japan, Shinto priests officiate in a festival called Kanamara Matsuri, or the Penis Festival. And I wish I had pictures to show you guys. But I've actually talked about this before in previous videos. With some kind of warm-hearted fervor, the Western world embraces Christmas and Santa Claus, who is vicariously Nimrod. The Japanese culture celebrates sex. So we can see the parallels here. Giant penises and vaginas are paraded through the streets and around the Shinto shrines. It's just like when you bring the Christmas tree into your house, or you got the Easter bunny with the eggs. Same thing, all fertility symbols, guys. The Christmas wreaths, the maypoles, all the stuff that we keep bringing up, guys. The bells, the stupas, the obelisks, the pillars. Now, at least 95% of the population of Japan is Shinto or Buddhist, and they view their behavior as completely normal. Instead of feeling shame, they are profoundly gleeful about the behavior. I urge you to check this out, the Penis Festival in Japan that they hold every year. Now, the Western mind is appalled at such debauchery, yet they fail to see how they do the same thing with the Christmas tree, the ornaments, which represent a man's testicles, the tinsel, which represent a man's semen, and the wreaths, which represent a woman's vagina after giving birth, the woman's birth canal. These are the Western versions of penises, testicles, semen. It's also the rice that they throw at wedding, and vagina wreaths displaying our debauchery on every door, and trees on display in every window. Yahuwah ordered us to never bring such abominations into our homes. Deuteronomy 7, verse 25 and 26. December 25th was originally the time of the rebirth of all solar deities, the birth, the nativity of the sun. Nimrod was deified as the sun, which is why we see his ancient persona, now called Santa, flying all around chimneys at the time of year during Christmas. Nimrod was the first Superman, becoming every sun deity, from Krishna to Moloch, Apollo, Zeus, Woden, etc. And we have Cupid right now, right? Bacchus, Dionysus, those three, as we talked about today. All Nimrod, really Hasatan. Our guilt remains if we claim we see, yet fail to teach our children truth. Our guilt remains, guys. Through us, they will inherit truth, or they will inherit the futility of their fathers to the third and fourth generations before them who hate Yahuwah. Remember, Nimrod started it all. Irrational delusion. Now, believing obedience to Yahuwah's Torah that guides us in how to love him and one another is sinful in any way is irrational. Once again, believing obedience to Yahuwah's Torah is, if you think that is sinful in any way, this is irrational. The one who loves him is the one who obeys his word. This is in John chapter 14, verse 21. All our transgressions are forgiven. Once again, all our transgressions are forgiven, being justified only by Yahusha's blood. We are redeemed completely once and for all. Our obedience is the fruit of his Spirit living in us, enabling us to live by every word that proceeds from the mouth of Yahuwah. Let me see. Yeah. To think we are wolves howling to get attention because we teach obedience is to misidentify the Spirit living in us. If we are not to obey the Torah, why else would Malachi 4, 1 through 6 tell us to remember it, or else Yahuwah will utterly lay waste the whole earth just prior to Yahusha's return on the day of Yahuwah? It's a good question. Why is the dragon enraged at those who obey Yahuwah's commandments and testify of Yahusha at Revelation 12:17? Why? And let me end with Revelation 22:14 and 15. Blessed are those doing his commands, so that the authority shall be theirs unto the tree of life, and to enter through the gates into the city. And you can't just follow half of the commandments by not killing, not committing adultery, not stealing, not lying. You have to also follow Sabbath. And you can't have no idols. So get rid of the crosses and the pictures of JESUS in your house. Get rid of that name, JESUS. It goes against the second commandment, if I'm not mistaken, blasphemy. No, I'm sorry, the third commandment. Yeah, the third commandment. It would go against the third commandment. That would be blasphemy. So get the name right. It's Yahusha. But outside are the dogs and those who enchant with drugs and those who whore and the murderers and the idolaters and all those who love and do falsehood. So we must be careful. Let's do the word. Stop teaching the nonsense. I agree wholeheartedly, 100%. Thank you guys once again for coming in and joining. Simon from the UK, I love you so much, brother. Thank you. Skylar, yeah, your boy is getting acquitted right now. Trump is getting acquitted. Lou White, hey, it's good to see you, brother. Yeah, great topic and great timing, too. Yeah, because Valentine's Day is right around the corner, so I thought it'd be a good time to bring it up. Brother Matthew, thank you for coming in, man. Tina O, Isaiah Diaz, Brother Levi from Messianic Truth. Thank you so much, man, for you guys coming in and joining me. And if, like I said, if you guys want to join me live where I can speak with you guys on the live chat and have an open dialogue, join me every Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for my Shabbat talks. All you have to do is have Google Hangouts. Click the link that I put in the chat when I throw it in there, and you can come on live and talk to me live, just, you know what I mean, and we can have a conversation about the scriptures. You can ask me questions that I talk about during the lessons, whatever you want to talk about as long as it's related to scripture, as long as you keep it clean. We're not vulgar or anything like that. We try not to be mean-spirited or try to poke at anybody personally. Let's just stick to doctrine, you know what I mean? Because that's what's most important. Let's stick to the salvational issues, which is getting the name right, you know what I mean? Sabbath, the commandments, things of that nature. You know what I mean? Knowing what Yahusha did for us at the stake and getting saved. You know what I mean? These are things that we need to be focusing on and need to be teaching and preaching people. Especially about these pagan holidays, guys. Get rid of them. Throw them out. Kick them out of your lives. It's very easy. Might be hard on the people around you, but so what? It's your salvation that's in question here. You know, we want to be, when he returns, we want to be doing the things that please him by following his commands and holding true to the testimony of Yahusha. That's what he wants to see when he comes back. He wants to see us doing his will, being obedient to him, loving him. That's being obedient. So follow his commands, guys. So once again, thank you guys for joining me. Like I said, you guys can join me on Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for my Shabbat Talks, where, like I said, I open the chat up for everybody to come on the Google Hangout Live and chat with me. You ask me any questions, like I said, or talk and give a testimony if you want, you know. Or if you got something to say, some kind of doctrine that you need some clarification on. I have plenty of brothers and sisters that come on. It's not just me. There's a lot of brothers and sisters that I have come on that are very helpful, that are very knowledgeable. So we have quite a panel that comes on. So I urge all you guys, you know what I mean, to come join me on there and come on there live and yeah, come join us and come be a part of the fellowship. Come be part of the fun. We have a lot of fun. We have some great conversations. So I urge you guys to come in and check them out. So anyways, I love you guys with all my heart. At the end of all my videos, I love to say, run to Yahusha.